where mine joined because I did it myself. Well, Malcolm has.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Look.
otherwise, you gotta learn how to do it, right? You gotta start. I can't always rely on you. What if you go back to the Caribbean and then and learn how?
This is the problem. This is the problem. I mean, hair salons and dreadlock studios may never be able to open because apparently lockdown's going to be here for years to come. This is the rumor. So what do? Do I just flatten my business? No, not really. I'm too passionate about this crap. I love dreadlocks and I love the people that surround me with these dreadlocks, So I rather teach you my secrets because I know that you will hold them dear. It's okay.
Yeah, or maybe start putting online courses. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, but I also realize that a lot of those techniques are not so great. And these are people in the beginning of their journeys. They don't really know what they're doing. I'd much rather watch your videos or pay for your online courses and do it properly.
Oh, cool. So we are my first online YouTube. Well, my YouTube channel goes live on the 1st of June, actually. So I will just be starting with simple things, home care and answering people's questions and calming people down to a panic, because it doesn't matter who you go to, you always need maintenance with dreadlocks. So watch out, check out the YouTube channel Rocking Locks on the 1st of June, 5 o'clock every afternoon, the video will be up. And I've got a lot of good stuff to share, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
you can make a YouTube paid membership as well. So maybe have extended content that people subscribe to. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, hey. The yoga world is changing. Us small businesses, we've got to hustle even harder than ever now to make a plan.
Everyone is doing yoga. I mean, I'm even doing yoga in my bedroom. You know what I mean? I check out what you're doing and then I'm like, whoa, check that out. Never mind.
Copy.
But at least I have the courage to try in my own bedroom. And that for me is priceless, Isel. It is priceless, because I don't want to take my fat ass to the yoga studio yet.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same thing with social distancing. Yoga has that personal touch. The teacher has to touch and adjust. And if I can't do that, I don't want to poke someone with a stick. That's just ridiculous. That really irritates me when I hear that. I'm like, no. And I also don't want to be sprayed with chemicals all the time. Then I would also rather just teach from home. I want to spray people.
It's a total mind blast. We have to think totally out the box.
Yeah.
And it can be done because we do create our own realities. And we're not the kind of people to lie down and go, okay, we're going to just shut the shit down. Not a chance.
No way.
Not a chance. Watch the space. Rocking Locks is here forever. Yeah.
Okay, we have a question. So Katie is asking, how do you create the knot for the permanent dreads? So the technique, I think, is like your back comb. Do you just want to explain to us? Obviously, Blue's not going to give away her secrets now.
I tell people how I actually do it, but then I would be giving away my secrets.
Yeah, exactly.
It depends on the hair type. I can take my friend Lizzie's hair and I can just give it a little back comb and I can give it a little palm roll and I can put a little product in and bam, Lizzie's got a dreadlock. With straight hair, we call it straight hair, it is completely different. And there is a fine line between stabbing the hell out of it and spending an hour and 2 hours. Some artists or locticians spend 3 hours per dreadlock. That is not what we do at Rocking Locks. Okay, I am all about the memory and the psychology of hair. There is a big difference about people doing it for the money and people doing it because they understand the psychology of hair. So our hair has memory. Naturally, we wake up in the morning and we don't want to see our natural selves because our hair is wild naturally. But we don't like our natural hair. We don't want to look at ourselves like that because people are going to snicker. So what do? We do something with it. It's the same as dreadlocks. Yeah. The difference is I change the memory of a person's hair. I don't force the dreadlocks into people's hair. The damage that I see every day coming into my studio, where people go to people who do not have the same hair type. Important, guys. Okay, please, please, please. You need to think about your hair. We need to think logically about it. Surely if our hair does this, it's because there's a memory. You know? Our body is 75% water, and water, it's been proven apparently that water carries energy. So if our body is carrying energy, then why is our hair not carrying energy? Why is our hair not carrying memory? So I've proven that we can change the memory of our hair by coming in for your regular maintenance sessions. Maintenance sessions shouldn't take 8, 10, and 20 hours. Who the hell wants to sit for 20 hours in excruciating pain? That is not what dreadlocks are supposed to be about. Spiritual journey versus painful journey. So I can talk about this forever and a day, but it is important to understand that your loctician should have the same hair type as you. First of all, that cuts me out because I say, oh, I can dread everybody's hair. I can dread all hair types. Well, I can because I've proven it. You can look at my work online. But I don't force dreadlocks in. You'll never find me stabbing 20 million holes. When you come out of the hair salon, if your dreadlocks are sticking up like that, you look like an asshole, right? Lisa?
Yeah,
We don't
too tight.
want to be assholes. We just want to look like awesome, stunning, beautiful dreadheads. So it doesn't have to be painful. I have seen the most disgusting scalps come in where I feel totally broken for the person, where I should send them out and take the loctician's number and actually get hold of them and tell them, hey, Wena, this is not okay, okay? But I don't do that, you know? I take the people on my journey. I walk their journey with them. Hand in hand, we walk together, yeah? If you do your homework that I give you, your dreadlocks will be great. If you leave your hair to do its own damn thing, your hair is going to be in control of you. We all know what that's like. So, you know, it's just go to people, look at their portfolios. I can't stress it enough. You know, I see women come in and I just think, and you go to a corporate job with this. No wonder corporate has such a skewed idea of dreadlocks, you know, because you send people out looking like assholes. And that is just not okay for me. You know, we all want to look beautiful. And the minute you look beautiful, you feel beautiful, and vice versa, you know. So, yeah, important. Make sure you look at their portfolios.
So, so just coming back to taking care of the hair. So other than soaking the dreads, you also recommend palm rolling.
Yep.
Where you just put the hair in between the palm and you roll it. And that's basically how we brush our dreads or brush our hair. We palm roll.
Yeah. You know, it's important. We have to separate our hair. So, you know, if you see someone with bad dreadlocks and they're all weird and short and lopsided and something's going wrong, it's because one hair from a dreadlock on the side is connected with the hair on this side, or a dreadlock, and they do this and they pull and they pull and they pull and they pull, and eventually you have dreadlocks up to here. Okay. So it's important to separate every day. Just because we have dreadlocks doesn't mean we can sit on our lazy asses and do absolutely nothing and think a miracle is going to happen. We don't have that kind of hair. Hair doesn't do that. Miracles are done by your loctician, okay? So separating is important. Making sure that you do spray with salt water. Salt water, much to the dismay of many other locticians, in my world, I use a lot of salt water. When I move into a new property, I sprinkle salt around my property for protection. So why can't I use salt water in my hair? My safe, beautiful dreadlocks. So salt is supposed to be an antiseptic, natural antiseptic. It's salt. We use pink Himalayan crystal salt without all the processes involved in it. Yeah, deep soak your dreads once every 4 weeks. If you want to go and deep soak your dreads every week, by all means, go do it. But let me tell you, the fashion will run, it'll eventually fade, and eventually you're going to go and you're going to deep soak your dreads once every 2 weeks. Because remember, what you practice, you become good at.
Yeah.
So if you you wash your straight hair every single day, dreadlocks are quite a traumatic process for the person. Because when I go, okay, so you don't need to wash your dreads for the next 4 weeks, and then the person goes, I can't ever wash my hair. That's not what I said. I said, for the first 4 weeks, you shouldn't wash your dreadlocks. 3 weeks and 6 days, the day before your maintenance session, I make you do a deep soak. So you, as the dreadhead with all the stigmas in your mind from your mothers and your grandfathers, you can look in the bowl and see what comes off your head. And that is a cool experiment. And I get everybody to do that, because we are not actually myth people. We've been led to believe we are stiff. People are, yeah, of course, if you don't care for yourself, but caring for yourself doesn't always involve a bottle of shampoo, you know, maybe some, I don't know, oil of some sort, you know. So yeah, easy peasy. It shouldn't be
And then
mission.
if the dread does go, because sometimes they loop, I don't really have, mine's pretty straight these days, but in the beginning they kind of make these loops and bumps. Oh, here's one.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
not really. No, they're looking pretty good, hey? But what I find then is when they wet and they kind of clump up and I then palm roll, that they then go straight again. And I've seen that people would freak out so much over those kinks. I think they look pretty cool, actually. But they're so easy to also to get fixed. It doesn't mean that the dread's going to look like that forever.
So, you know, to the layman eye, there, can you see my kinks? Look there. What is that? So those are growth loops. Our hair naturally grows. Every day we shed hair. You can ask any hairdresser, we shed our hair every day, like we shed so many eyelashes a day, same thing. So we no longer shed our hair on the floor, we shed it into our root system. If we have 50 dreadlocks on a full head of dreads, then you can take, oh, well, I'm a healthy person, I eat lots of peanuts, my life is good, I feel happy, but I still shed lots of hair. Well, you're healthy. So your new hair is always wanting to grow. So what happens with the old hair? It lands on the floor. Now it lands in your dreadlocks. So my dreadlocks, I actually have 10 years worth of shedded hair. And that is what my dreadlocks are made of. Not all healthy, happy, but yet my dreadlocks are healthy and happy. You know what I mean? They say that if I could stick every hair back together, that our hair would be 7 times longer than what our dreadlocks actually are. So how crazy is hair? You know what I mean? It's just insane. It's insane.
Yeah, I think it was like 700 strands of hair a day. It's crazy how much hair. And even your dead cells, I mean, that's what we sweep every day. We sweep the dead.
And you know, I have to, you guys are going to all think I'm absolutely crazy, but I had this psychology of hair thing. I see there's a comment there. Can I please talk about it more? But like, you know, our hair comes like straight out of our heads. And our hair is a direct reflection of what we eat, what we drink, what we do, what we put on our faces, what we wash our hair with, you know. We go to a hairdresser. Sorry, all my friends are hairstylists. But anyway, we cut our hair, we bleach it, we F it up completely. And then the hairdresser or the assistant comes and just like sweeps it out the back door. Yours, Samantha's, Byron's, Jennifer's, do you understand? So when I met my bush husband, he told me about a whole lot of African stuff. So we were both born in Africa, not in South Africa, and we understand the strength of African muti and magic. Okay, so you want to tell me that people don't come and dig in the dustbin to get their hair for whatever they are doing with whatever they do here with hair, you know what I mean? So I have a huge superstition about that.
Yeah.
You'll never find hair in the dustbin. Don't throw your teeth in the dustbin. You don't throw your children's teeth in the dustbin, tooth fairies. So why would you throw your hair in the dustbin? Do you understand? So that is a big no-no for me, and you will never. I'll rather sit and burn it under the full moon. Okay. Yeah, I can't actually remember what your question was. What was it?
I don't know. I'm so like, oh, we were talking about sweeping the dead, yeah, and all the hair mixes, I guess.
This we'd have to do a series about dreadlocks because
Yes.
the knowledge or the information out there is so big and so deep, and it's per culture. You know, dreadlocks come back from the Greek times. The
The
Greeks
Vikings.
had
Well, surely the first humans didn't have hairbrushes. Surely the first humans, along with the Neanderthals and all the other ones, because there were many, surely we
exactly. I
all
mean,
had dreadlocks.
well, we would have had, you know, if I don't know if you've seen what freeform dreads look like, but whoa, they can be scary. So I'm not sure if they all had beautiful dreadlocks. You know, I'm not sure if all the Vikings spent time working on their dreadlocks
Mm.
like we do today, you know. But let me tell you, there are some scary dreadlocks out there, and those ones are the ones that give dreadlocks the initial stigma.
Mm.
Yeah. I think maybe a fork was not invented to eat with. Maybe a fork was actually to brush your hair. I don't know. I mean, how bizarre, you know, we could have all had dreadlocks. I don't know. I mean, gee, it goes so far back, thousands and thousands of years. But if I may, I just want to talk about the rusters. So I have these awesome ruster friends. And of course, not in South Africa, in other countries. And they tell me the story about the whole stigma with rusters and marijuana and dreadlocks and all this stuff, you know, the poor rusters. Anyway, this guy tells me the story and he says, no, 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 no. The rusters didn't actually have dreadlocks. The rusters initially started growing weed as a cash crop, yeah, so that they could make money. However, the guards that they used to employ to look after their plantations used to spend their entire lives in their plantations protecting the marijuana, that they used to grow locks. And that is why rusters are classified as like, oh, they have dreadlocks. Not all rusters have dreadlocks, you know what I mean? And their
And not
belief
all
system,
dreadlock people smoke weed.
you know, they cut their hair when someone passes away. Lots of people cut their hair when people pass away, whether it's dreadlocked or straight, it doesn't matter, you know. So it's very interesting. I can only imagine seeing the locksmen standing in the plantations with their big, thick, long dreadlocks. I mean, it must have been insane, must have freaked poor old Jan van Riebeek out completely when they saw dreadlocks the first time. That's all I can think.
Oh, he had some locks of his own.
Yeah, exactly. Probably one big fat one.
Okay, so just to make sure we've covered everything, so just the recipe. So when we soak our hair, what is the recipe like? Do you know quantities, volume?
I always work with all my recipes. I work like a cup of this to a spoon of that, you know. So I use, depending on the oil levels in my hair, so lemon juice works really well for the oil in your hair that we collect around our scalp and stuff. So I use a cup of bicarbonate of soda. I use a half a cup of apple cider vinegar. I use about 5 drops of essential oils. So like rosemary oil is great for conditioning. Chamomile oil is great for conditioning. Menthol oil, so peppermint and spearmint, a drop of that will give you that awesome cooling effect that we're always after, because we don't always submerge our hair in water. And I mix all of that up with hot water. Hot, as hot as my scalp can handle. I lay down on a skateboard and I put my head back into the bowl of water or this awesome solution, and I just lay there quietly for 15 minutes. Okay? When you come up, squeeze it all out. Take a look in the tub. Don't just throw the water away, because I'm going to ask you what's in your water, because we seem to think there's weird hokos, but there's not. Squeeze your dreads. Towel dry. You won't see me going We don't do that. Remember, we don't do that in the dread world, okay? Everything is squeezing, running your fingers through your dreads, separating them. When you work with the dreadlocks, make enough time. Make time. If you're going to bath your child or your baby, you take time out to bath your baby. So do the same with your dreadlocks. You have 50 children on your head. Treat each one as an individual. Work with each one on its own. Some of them you won't like. I'll work on those. But yeah, simple and easy. Make sure it's a sunny day. My dreadlocks take 24 hours to dry at 10 years.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 full days, 2 full sun days.
So how heavy are dreads then about, if it's up to your bra line?
Man, I think the method that we use, because it is so different, and people are actually quite like unsettled by it, you know, other locticians are very unsettled by the method that I use. But I think it's more important, I found that it's more important to dread air and good energy in, rather than stab, stab, stab and try and get them to be what they're supposed to be in 3 years' time on day number 1, you know. So, lady, again, I've forgotten the question.
How heavy are they?
So, my dreads are not heavy. I have to tell you, yes, when I add water to them, they go 10 times heavier, but my dreads are actually very light. You can see they're movable, they're light.
Yeah,
they're
for
not
10
breaking.
years. But you've cut yours over the years, hey?
Every 2 years or so, I give my dreadlocks a trim, and then I usually take off a whole lot like this, because my dreadlocks grow and I shed a lot of hair. So, you know, in 1 year, 25 centimeters. Gee whiz. What do you do with that? You've got to pack it away when you go to bed, you know, and pack it in the car when you get in the car. So I keep my dreads at a certain length. I started getting headaches when they went past my butt cheeks. And then I said, okay, that's it. I'm not going to cut my dreads off because I get headaches, but I'll keep them at a certain length. So I always just trim them. I spend time with them, you know, direct contact. So,
and then you also change the color. Like you can bleach it, you can color it the same as you would do any other hair.
You know, bleaching is such a terrible thing, but we are crazy women and we
do it anyway.
So I can tell you that bleaching my dreadlocks definitely thinned them out a little bit, but not, my dreadlocks didn't break off. Only once with hairdressers when they came out to do a color practice on my dreadlocks. They had never done color work on dreads before. And my dreadlocks snapped in half, but that was the incorrect bleaching process that was followed. But don't worry, with dreadlocks, I just take that little piece out of the water, leave it in the sun to dry,
and
crochet it back in. So the next day my dreadlocks were back and I didn't feel sad about it, you know. But you can bleach your dreads. You just got to make sure that you go to someone. Show me your portfolio. I want to see the dreadlocks you have done color work on. You are entitled to ask that question. You know, don't just go anywhere. Go to the hairstylist whose husband has dreadlocks. You know what I mean? Because she obviously interacts with them. You know, you've got to have people who understand. So yeah, you can bleach them. Just gently. You don't need to put that much bleach in, and we don't leave it on for as long. But I'm telling you, because I don't color my dreads, and because when I do color my dreads, I get them done professionally with high quality color. Let me tell you, I bleach and 10 minutes later my dreads are white. So the less you box dye, and the healthier your dreads become, and the more they just get fed with good, wholesome coconut oil, your dreadlocks, when you bleach once a year, will just start going white. It's the craziest stuff. I look like
I've been thinking about bleaching my hair. No, don't say that. Say that is bad.
Well, it's bad, Isel. It's bad. But I know you always get what you want.
Okay, so I think also what people are confused about is that, so there's synthetic hair, so that's what I've got in at the moment, and then you've got human hair extensions, and the experience is also very different. human hair
Very
more
different.
expensive? What else is
Yeah.
the difference between the two? And which one do you
Human hair,
recommend?
yeah. Human hair obviously is just amazing. I mean, if you have all human hair dreads and there's a certain look, okay, so now people are going to fight with me and they're going to say, but your dreadlocks need to be natural. But you know what? Stuff everybody else. If your dreadlock here is too short and it's sticking out here, but the others are all beautiful and they're hanging in a bob length naturally, why can't you extend that one to be beautiful with the rest? Okay, so we have temporary options, which is your synthetic fiber like you're wearing now. Easy to install, easy to remove, not so expensive. You can up your
It's
down.
light, beautiful colors. You
Yes.
don't have to go in color.
Now there's the thing, beautiful colors. With human hair extensions, we wait a period of time. Those human hair extensions have to graft. It's like a heart transplant. Yeah. So those extensions have to graft with our own dreadlocks, first of all. I say wait a year before you go and you do all sorts of things. But you've proven me wrong on that because we did your dreadlocks and 5 weeks later, Isel, you have beautiful color in your hair. So I always give like the most that you need to wait, but we are stubborn, you know.
But my
Permanence,
extensions did fall out. So if I waited, it probably wouldn't have done that.
yeah, exactly. So, you know, we want to do maintenance and people want to palm roll straight after their session. But every time you do that, like the next day, we just undoing whatever poor old Blue has been doing the day before, you know. So we tend to overthink things. But permanent dreads, we can extend using synthetic fiber. We make all our temporary options out of synthetic fiber. We try and keep the costs as low as possible, but the quality as high as possible. So we use high quality synthetic fiber. Permanent dreads, on the other hand, when you use the human hair, the look is completely different. The finish is different. And you get that immediate, if you palm roll, you get that immediate sort of fusion going on. You know, the ombre starts happening when you palm roll. So permanent extensions cost a freaking fortune. That's all I can say. I do a lot of human hair work, but I must tell you, it's not for everybody. People can't afford human hair work, and there's a stigma about it. It comes from someone else's damn head. So, you know, we offer a lot though, and guaranteed, we very seldom don't have what the people are wanting. So that's cool.
Yeah. Okay, we have a question here. I let my gray normally. I'm not sure what it means and it keeps disappearing. I don't know what's happening with my chat here. It's not showing. I let my gray normally. How would that look with dreadlocks? I'm not sure what that means exactly. I guess they're asking, can you dreadlock gray hair?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the difference with gray hair is that it's not what we classify as healthy, you know, but our hair also ages. As our body ages, so our hair comes out aging. Silver dreadlocks and gray hair dreadlocks are absolutely amazing because first of all, nobody really wants to work with gray hair. They always just want to color it. But second of all, have you ever seen a lady with gray dreadlocks?
It's beautiful.
Whoa. So do yourself a favor, lady with the gray hair. Please go onto Pinterest and just type in gray-haired dreadlocks and just get your inspiration from there. I promise you, you will be sold in 3 seconds. 3 seconds.
I'm not sure what the time is. I can never see the time when we're on live, but I'm assuming we're getting to somewhere, and you and I will just sit and chat all day long. So any other questions or if you have any other questions to Blue, please post it now. Oh my gosh, it's too cold. My lips can't move properly. Otherwise, Blue, is there anything else you want to tell us about dreadlocks?
Oh man, I just say, you know, don't worry about what everybody else says. you know, we always worry about everyone else's thought process about us, but it really is an intimate decision that you make. You shouldn't for one moment feel uncomfortable in the process. You shouldn't for one moment feel like the pain is so excruciating that you cannot continue, because if that is the case, then you're doing it wrong. Okay, dreadlocks are not supposed to be painful, and they're not supposed to take 10 hours to sort out. And there's a whole lot of yeses and nos. You know, my method you can brush out, which is great. So don't listen to people who have never had dreadlocks. I have people that come and they say, oh, my auntie
It's
says
gonna cut.